right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of AWS She Builds Tech Skills here in North America. I'm one of your hosts, Kandyce Bohannon, and today we're really excited to bring to you one of our AWS heroes, Namrata Shah. So thanks so much for being here. And then I'm also joined today by my lovely co-host Deepika, who was on a show with us a couple weeks ago, and now is back and has been really contributing to She Builds overall, and we're really excited to have you as part of the team. In fact, Deepika, this is her first episode to kind of own start to finish. And so this was her idea. She has the contact to Namrata, all of these sorts of things. So Deepika, thank you for being here. Can you also, like, as we kind of kick things off, talk about why you thought this was a good episode, how you know Namrata, all of these sorts of things. Get us kind of like set up for this.
Sure. Thank you, Kandyce. And very good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you're joining. I'm Deepika Prabhakara. I'm a Senior Customer Solutions Manager with AWS. And in my role, I actually help customers migrate, modernize, and innovate on the cloud. And I'm very, very excited and passionate about women in tech, empowering women in technology, and also supporting girls in STEM. And that's one of the very reason you see me actively engaged in AWS She Builds Tech Skills program. So again, thank you, Kandyce, for allowing me to co-host this episode. And this idea actually sparked because Namrata and I go way back. We were co-workers. We worked in a technology, IT services, and consulting for a firm, and we were one of the very few women leaders. So I mean, immediately it kind of sparked. And then what inspires me about Namrata is her continued effort, staying and contributing to technology and giving back to the community. So she is one of the very few AWS women heroes that I am aware of, and especially in the North America. So I just wanted to use this idea and episode to throw the spotlight, celebrate the contributions of the AWS heroes, and also bring to light about the great work that they are doing, being they are not AWS employees, but still they are giving back to the community as experts. So thank you again, Namrata, for joining our show.
Sure.
And I'm so glad that our paths have crossed again.
Sure. Thank you, ladies, for having me. And thank you, everyone, for joining this session. Looking forward to an exciting session. And hopefully, you guys can, ask your questions and all of us can learn something together.
It's great. That's what we're here for.
Perfect. So, what are we discussing about, ladies, today?
Well,
So, Namrata, why don't you just give a quick introduction about
Sure.
your career, maybe something a little also personal about you, and then we'll go from there.
Well, that sounds good. I think that's a perfect start. So, myself, my name is Namrata Shah, but I do go by Nam. So, a lot of people who know me, especially at my workplace, my friends, otherwise, they call me by my shorter version, my nickname, that is Nam. I live here in Jersey City, New Jersey. I have been in US for a little close to almost 20 decades. Sorry, 20, 2 decades, so 20 years, not 20 decades. And I primarily have been in IT since 2001. So I'm dating myself over here. While I was studying, I started working. I finished my master's in India and then eventually moved to the US. And I love technology. I've been in technology for a very, very long time. And most of my experience has been in consulting. Of late, I basically work at Nuveen. Nuveen is an asset management firm where I head engineering globally for investment technology. And for passion, since I'm so passionate about technology, I actually run a YouTube channel where I teach technology. I post a lot of videos. I intend to do some live sessions as well, as much as I can. But the whole intention behind me starting this whole YouTube channel was to share my knowledge with everyone and basically make people passionate about technology, especially Deepika, to your point. There are a lot of women, and a lot of other people around the globe who do not have enough resources or money to learn technology. They do want to learn it. Uh, Also, women, just like me and most of us on this call, we have a personal responsibilities as well at our home. So it's not convenient to go to a specific user group session or somewhere. So how about using a platform wherein something is recorded and it is hosted over there and people can go and watch and learn at their convenience. So that was my inspiration behind starting a YouTube channel. And of course, the younger generation, the millennials and the Gen Zs, they are all about streaming. Nobody wants to go inside and talk to anyone. So that's what I do for passion. And the other thing that I do for passion is I actually play a lot of racket sports, which include tennis and badminton. So whenever I get a little time, I do go outside and play. Hopefully the weather gets better over here in New York, New Jersey area, and then I'm back outside on the court. So that's a little bit about me.
Wow, that's impressive. And you have 18,000 plus subscribers on your YouTube channel.
Yes, this has happened over a period of time. It took a lot of hard work to get there because I do not do a lot of marketing about the channel. That requires a lot of dollars. Um, so yeah, whatever we can do over a period of time. I started the channel somewhere around in 2017. Then I had a little break because of personal reasons. I mean, that's regular in life. Then again, I picked it up all over again. And then I had some break somewhere around again in 2023 because again of personal reasons I had to fly back to India to take care of my family who's over there. My parents live there. So it has been a little on and off, but hey, I tried. But my commitment to myself is to post at least one recording or one video every week. So I learn something new every week. It could be as small as a feature of a specific service or maybe something brand new. Learn it, try it out, and then whatever I have learned, I try to record it and post it out for others. So either it's a tutorial or a lab, but that's my commitment, a personal commitment to myself.
That's
Very,
super impressive. Yeah.
yeah. So I know we've been talking or mentioned the AWS heroes are very like a lot of times in this call by now, um, and I mean to the viewers who do not know what the AWS Heroes program is, could you tell us about the program? What motivated you to become one?
Sure. So the roots of this go actually way back when I was in India when I was studying. As I said, I was studying and working. So AWS Heroes, you should know, is basically a community program, right? So it's all about community. It's all about inspiring others to do it. It's all about mentoring, coaching in whatever fashion and whatever way that you can. There are no set guidelines or anything, but the intention is helping out others, is giving back to the community. So you need to have that kind of a mindset wherein you feel that yes, I can do this and I want to do this for others. So while I was in India, while I was studying in schools and colleges, I used to go to other schools and colleges to basically teach people about technology, right? So whatever I used to learn, let's say there were days when I learned how to operate a computer. Right, there were days when I learned how to work with Office. Like, hey, I know how to create a Word document. I know how to create a PowerPoint. So I've been through those different phases. Then I learned a little bit as to how to program with C, then with C++, then moving on to Visual Basic, .NET. I've been a .NET developer for a very, very long time, although that's in the Microsoft space. So I used to go to other schools, colleges, teaching others, other students, fellow colleagues at that time, mates, other class students, sometimes my seniors, sometimes my juniors, sometimes even, going to orphanages or maybe old age homes where people are challenged maybe with technology, especially, like my mother, her She never knew how to work with computers. So that inspired me to go and work with folks in old age homes while I was in India and I was studying, because I could pick up technology very fast. But I also saw that, so initially it was a frustration, like, hey, this is very easy, you can do it. Why can't you do it? I mean, what's so difficult about it? But it took a little while to sink in that it is a gift.
True.
Okay, and I have a knack for technology. Naturally, I can pick up something very complex. Um, and understand that very fast. At the same time, I also had the knack of taking something complex, understanding it, and also explain it to others. So again, that took a lot of time and effort, because explain it to others can get a little frustrating, because hey, I'll explain it to you once, but what if the person doesn't get once? You have to repeat yourself. So then after once or twice, you'll be like, okay, take a deep breath. It's the process. So it took a very long time to get there, but that's where it started. And then after that, I started running a user group in India. So I used to run the .NET user group in Mumbai. So again, that's a community thing. And then I moved to the US. So all my community activities got stopped. I was swamped with work, with my personal life in the US. And then I felt, that it's been a while. I should do something again. I should give back to the community again. And I was traveling as a consultant. I was on the road. So finally, I said I'll go outside and start joining the AWS user group. But that's when it hit me, when people came and told, the younger generation especially, is like, no, why don't you just stream it? Like, I don't have time to go over there, at 6 p.m. in the evening. But if you stream it and you put it out over there, maybe, I can watch it while I'm on the bus, or I'm on the train, or I'm traveling. So that's what inspired me to basically do a YouTube channel. So coming back to your question, AWS Heroes is a program about community, is about giving back. So you could use any mode or any medium that you like to give back. So I started doing this in 2017, and it took 3 years for AWS to identify me, recognize me, to basically reach out to me. And then that's how I became a hero. So if anybody aspires to be a hero, figure out ways where you can get involved in different communities. Could be a user group, could be you starting your own user group, you going to user groups and doing sessions, sharing your knowledge. If you cannot do that, like I could not do that because of location constraints, because I was traveling, etc., then hey, you can start something online like I did. Could be a YouTube channel, could be something as simple as having a live session like this. But there are multiple modes of giving back to the community, and as long as you remain active within the community, you will be considered for being a hero. So one thing I do want to mention over here, Deepika and Candice, is a lot of people come and ask me, so are you a hero because you did all of the AWS certifications? No, I'm not an AWS hero because I did all the AWS certifications. If you do that, kudos to you, good for you, you'll get a golden jacket. But AWS Hero is not a certification, it's an award, it's a recognition that is given to you because of what you did for others and the community. So it has a people aspect to it, it has an aspect of giving back. And that's why I said it requires a specific mindset for you to become an AWS hero. And
Yeah.
that's why there are not so many heroes across the globe. There are a lot of people who are certified, but there are not so many heroes because there are very few people who do these community sessions.
Yeah, and I have also seen many of them uh, being a mentor, right? Like
Yes.
especially taking on mentorship, and then also creating content like you do, and speaking at many of the events, whether it's AWS specific events or even external conferences, and also being very active on the forums.
Yes, it could be forums, it could be news groups, it could be as simple as going to a user group, doing a session, answering questions of folks over there. Uh, any way or any form that you feel that you can inspire others to learn technology and share your knowledge, I will welcome people to try it out. You could also do multiple you know f- uh, platforms. Like for example, on my YouTube channel, I have a lot of my fellow heroes who have come, who actually run a user group in their community, in their country, but they said, no, I actually want to come to your channel and share my knowledge and share my experience. So you could use multiple forums, you could fire on all cylinders. I would not stop people from doing that. Yes.
I like that. That's all very, very good advice. Like keep learning and like it's a community and like you can all work together to do more. As you're kind of like thinking about how you do this and like what platforms you go for and things like that, um, how did you go about kind of building up your brand in technology? What would you say your brand is if you have one? And what kind of advice would you give to someone who wants to build up their own brand?
Well, brand is all about, first is marketing and visibility. And as I said earlier, marketing can become expensive. From my own experience, I can tell you that, right? Like marketing your own channel or your content. But if you want to build your brand, you have to do a couple of things. First is you have to make yourself visible. Okay. If you're not visible, then nobody knows you. Second is after you make yourself visible, visible for what? So you have to be known for something, right? So all the brands that we know around the globe, for example, AWS. AWS is a cloud provider, so it's known for its cloud services, right? You have a brand called as let's say what, like Cadbury's or Kit Kat, or you can take any brand. Every brand is associated to something. So what is that you are bringing to the table? So anybody, Candice, who's looking forward to building their brand, first is you have to identify what you want to be known for, something that you're really good at. Now it cannot be like, okay, I want to be known for this, but I do not have the required skill set or the knowledge to do that. Okay, you inspire to be, let's say, an AWS hero, then go and learn the technology. Okay, learn how this technology works, develop the mindset, look for those various platforms that we spoke about to share that knowledge. And more you give visibility to yourself, like going out speaking, doing speaking engagements, posting something on the web, writing your own blog. If you are not good at communicating, a lot of people have verbal communication challenges, a lot of people have interpersonal skills challenges. If you don't want to do that, you're not comfortable in front of the camera, hey, you don't need to be comfortable in front of the camera. Just go and write your own blog, get it out over there, right? And that's how you can start building your brand. Eventually people will start noticing you, they will start calling you. Like I go to a lot of places to speak, like how I'm over here today. So I do a lot of speaking events, I go to a lot of executive dinners as well, where I share my knowledge, I share my experiences that I've gained over a period of years. And a lot of times I don't even charge any money or anything. It is, the intention is to go over there, interact, and build myself and get that visibility. So if people are thinking that, hey, brand building is about money, then I want to clear that misconception right straight off the bat, right? Your brand building is a lot of hard work, is a lot of hours. It's a lot of hours first learning and then a lot of hours sharing and building that brand. So yes, that is something that's what can help you to build a brand. And yes, I can tell you, I've been doing this since 2017, so it's taken a lot of time to get where I am. So it's a lot of persistence and perseverance, along with patience, a lot of peace, that go along to build that brand. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this is really inspiring. So, the intersection of passion, skills, and what the
Yes.
industry needs, right?
Yeah, we
That's
can add that P to the passion as well, to the piece that I just mentioned. Yes.
totally, totally. And I mean, like you said, it's not been an easy journey. I mean, you have invested a lot of time and knowledge and building that knowledge and energy into where you are today. So, what is something that you would call out as maybe a failure or maybe a moment in which that kind of shaped you to who you are as a leader in technology? Something you would like to quote?
Well, I will tell one thing. I fail literally every single day, and I'm not even kidding about it. Uh, I fail every single. Why do I say that, right? Every time I go inside, I try to learn something. I'm trying to get that thing working so badly, and it takes multiple tries. It's a failure. Even if it's a demo sometimes, or even if it's something that I'm learning. So one thing I would tell you is about what from where I come from and what has shaped this is that very early in my career, one of my mentors told me that I have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So I have to be comfortable with failing. So fail fast, right? We hear fail fast as part of agile development a lot, but you got to implement that in your personal life. So I fail literally every single day. And I also, as I shared with you earlier, I did have a couple of failures while I started the channel. I couldn't keep up to my commitment. I have failed even at some of my workplaces where I have lost some of the best resources. Some of the delivery deadlines have not been met. The production has come down, and the clients have come and yelled a lot of times. A lot of times, my team failed. But being a leader, and that's what leaders do, is I took the responsibility for that, right? Because that's what leaders do. So, Deepika, it's not one failure. There are, I don't even know how many times I fail. I literally fail every single day because every time I go, and other day I was trying to get this batch inference job running in Bedrock, and I mean I can share my screen sometime when I get a chance, and you will see it's fail, 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 and then it is completed. So it's and like every time it's failed, then you're like, oh my god, I got to start this from scratch again. I got to start this from scratch again. And worst part is why it failed. So those little failures add up, right? So right as a daughter, as a partner, as a leader in my organization, as a YouTuber, as a mentor, there have been so many failures that is just impossible to count them. And the second part of your question, how has this helped me to shape where I am, and my mindset is, I I basically accepted failure. As I said, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So if failure is uncomfortable, nobody likes to fail, right? I don't like to lose my tennis game or my badminton game, but hey, if I have to improve my game, I have to play with players who are better than me. And if I play with players who are better than me, I will lose. But if I lose, I still win because I learned a few shots which I didn't know earlier, or I learned certain tricks of playing that I didn't know earlier. So lot of failures, but as long as you're uncomfortable with failing, I will tell you that you will succeed. So it's fail, 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 but eventually you will get success. And I remember a specific incident, since you're asking me about something very specific. A couple of years back, we had layoffs in our organization, and I didn't want to do that. That was a different organization where I was working. I was not working at Nuveen at that time. And I was told to walk out a few people from my team. And that was a solid punch in my face because I felt that I failed as a leader. And I literally wanted, like, hey, rather than walking these people out, why don't I just walk out? And that was the most difficult moment of my life, where I was extremely uncomfortable. I didn't want to do it. And after I did it, I actually even fell sick. So a lot of failures, Deepika. I don't even know where to start.
No, I think you're right. Failures kind of shape us, right? I mean, if we keep
Yes.
winning, we will not see
No.
the true learning experience. So, yeah, agree.
Yeah. You have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable to be successful in life. So as long as you're comfortable being uncomfortable, you'll be good.
Yeah, it's all about the growth opportunities.
Yes.
My favorite boss that I ever had said the same thing to me. He was like, Candace, how do we make you feel uncomfortable? And I was like, ugh. And that's when I actually got into AWS. I had done Azure development and like individual coding. And he was like, we're going to put you in I did like mobile development. He's like, we're going to put you way over here and like see how you can do there. And so that's
Yeah.
how I got into AWS, and it's been great. So being comfortable with being uncomfortable I love that. that phrase.
Yeah,
Um,
it is what it is. I mean, I never wanted to be a leader. I wanted to be a heads down developer, just like you, Candice. I was
mhm.
very happy in the little corner, but one of my managers again pushed me into people leadership, and the problem statement that was given to me was, how about I give you a problem that does not have any canned solution, and you will not be able to Google it, or AI is not going to give you a response for that. And that was the most uncomfortable moment again in my life. I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Because people management is very tough. uh,
Yeah,
Humans, dealing with people, dealing with humans, we are all logical, we are all emotional beings, although we might want to call ourselves as logical beings, but we are very emotional, and we do give emotional responses to our challenges and our problems. So yes, it's a very similar situation. Yes.
that's another thing that I say. The technology is easy, the people is hard. Like that's the really hard part. I can Google the answer, or Q developer can help me get the answer.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, we live in a Gen AI world now. Yes.
we do. So, one more question, I think, around like skills development and your role. Like, what is a cool thing that you've learned recently, and how do you integrate that continuous learning mindset into your day job, especially as a leader? Now, you don't get that time to just be hands down. How do you? What's the thing, and how do you integrate it?
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's a really good question. So, off late, what I have been working on is Bedrock, Gen AI. So, I think a lot of people will like that. I actually also had a reinvent session last year where I spoke about Bedrock and creating agentic apps and agentic AI. That's the new buzzword in town. Yes, everybody wants to do that. It was an amazing session. So I try to keep on learning on day-to-day basis, and this is what I'm exploring now. My job, my current job, I work for Nuveen as an organization, so we are highly regulated and we have a lot of compliance. So we do some amount of AI, but not a lot. So I cannot use all of my uh, skills over there because of the regulatory, and compliance reasons. But what we did do recently is we did do an AWS game day
Ooh,
for my team. Yes, that was big and everybody loved it.
me too.
And the AWS game day was around Gen AI.
Wow.
Wow. So we did was we had AWS come in, we had everything set up, we gave all the teams, and it was across the Nuveen technology and operations that we kind of hosted, where we had a Gen AI quest for our teams, and it was fun. So I don't get a lot of chance on day-to-day basis, Candice, but I do look for such opportunities wherein me and my teams and everybody and all of my colleagues, we can use some of the skills that I learned. And yeah, basically the intention is to, again, being a hero, right? So I wear those dual hats while I'm working as well. So I'm trying to kind of be this technology evangelist and this enablement and skills development person, and trying to keep the passion alive, but at the same time also giving them a foundation and a platform to basically learn and grow their skills. So it's not just me growing over there by myself, it's them also going. So yeah, that's what I've been doing recently. And while they wanted to, of course, learn and play this whole AWS game day, of course, the immediate question that came to me is, how are we going to learn this? Like, hey, you learned it, but what about us? So that's where we kind of created a whole list of different videos, some from my channel, some from Reinvent, from different parts of YouTube, some paid, some unpaid, and put all this together so that they learn and they grow. So that's how I've been using my skills at work. And of course, my organization, we are basically an AWS shop ourselves. So even though I might not be able to use some of the skills that I've learned immediately, like Bedrock, we do use a lot of AWS because all of my applications within the organization, everything is all hosted on AWS.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
we
mean,
are basically, we don't even have multi-cloud. We are basically an AWS shop through and through.
Nice.
That's great to hear. And I mean, you bring up a great point. Technology can sometimes become monotonous and sometimes boring, but if you gamify it, it's adding lot more fun in the learning experience, right? And like you said, you may not get an opportunity immediately to work on that, but then you can still stay close to the latest and greatest of the technology that you would see.
Yes.
So I think that's a perfect segue into our next section. Why don't we see something cool that you have probably put together for us, like a live demonstration? Um,
Sure.
and especially talking about Gen AI, Bedrock, Agentic, and all that, that's making me even more excited to see what you have to show to our viewers today. So why don't we take a quick moment and see what you have for us today to see the demonstration?
Sure. Let me share my screen and please let me know once you can share see it.
And while we're pulling that up, here's a quick little link for you to go learn a little bit more about Bedrock, and get more familiar with what we're going to see today. I think I see your
Great.
screen coming up. Here we go.
Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Not yet. I'm just about to add it. Here we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Perfect.
Okay, so what we are going to do today is we are going to see how we can use Bedrock. And since everybody's so passionate about agents and agentic AI, how about we create a career advisor agent using Bedrock? So, ladies, does that sound exciting?
Super exciting. Yes.
Okay. So, I'm basically in Bedrock right now. I am on the AWS console. I hope you guys can see my screen now.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll go to Amazon Bedrock, Builder Tools, and go to Agents. And what we will do is over here, we will use Bedrock to create an agent that is going to act as a career advisor for high school students, let's say in New York City. Okay, I mean, we can pretty much create any kind of agent, but let's take this as an example. If I have more time, I will probably create one more agent and show it to you as well. So we'll call this as, you know, high school career advisor. Let's call him high school career advisor. I'm just going to copy this over here in the description as well and click on create. So while we click on create, behind the scenes, what Bedrock is going to do is Bedrock is going to create an agent for us. So as you can see, this is an agent builder screen right here. I'm going to get rid of this thing. So you can see agent builder right here. And what we will do is now we will go about configuring this and creating our own career advisor agent. So as you can see, the name is right here. We have put in the description. Then what we have at the bottom is one of the roles that we will have to create such that Bedrock can easily execute this agent. And as you can see over here, there's a name is disabled. So you can either create a new role or you can use an existing role. In my case right now, we are going to use a new role and use that role. After that, what we have over here is selecting a model. And if I click on it, you will see that there are multiple models that are available. Now, you can choose any model that you like, but whenever, let's say, if you intend to create this by yourself, and I would certainly recommend, and you'll see it's very easy to create this, but just ensure that you have access to the model. So if you do not have access, click on request access, and then you can go to the request access screen and request an access for a specific model. If not, you can use any models that you already have access to. The other thing that you want to take care of is the pricing of this model, because some of these services like Bedrock and using these models can be very, very expensive. So be careful of how many prompts you give to this and what model you use. So before you start using the service and you go and connect to the model, I always tell people, please check out the pricing and the availability of the model in your region. Otherwise, you will get burnt, and at the end, always ensure that you delete and release all resources. So let's continue further. So for our agent this time, let's use Sonnet. Okay, or maybe we can use Haiku. Let's use Haiku. We can use
So
Haiku.
now,
Go ahead,
Mata,
please.
why? what is helping you decide between these different models?
I mean, it's mostly by experience. Okay, so what happens, and an excellent question, Candice, right? So when you work between these models, each of these models showcase a certain behavior. So one thing is you go and read the documentation. The second thing is, let's say if you take a prompt, right? Any prompt, it could be, hey, what is the capital of United States of America? Every model will give you a different response and the way the response comes. And I can actually show it to you as well. Good that you reminded me. Instead of haiku, let me take Nova Micro. Now, the way micro works is very different. When you ask the same question to micro, and I'll showcase this to you while we do the demo, the way it answers and responds to my prompt versus how Anthropic takes the same prompt and responds back, you will see that the response will come in a very different manner. And some of this, as I said, is experience. That's why I tell people to play around with these models. But of course, do not go crazy with it. Is how these models behave. Now, Bedrock also has a feature of prompt routing. I'll not be able to demo that feature today, but I certainly recommend people to go and actually explore that feature. What prompt routing does is that looking at your prompt, it will basically decide which is the best model to forward this prompt to. And again, that is based on a lot of data and a lot of machine learning that goes behind the scenes. You know, how the model has been trained, what data has been used to train the model, how the model responds back to your prompt. It basically uses all of this information to see that, hey, this is the right model, and this is the model I should forward this particular prompt to. There's also certain documentation that you will see that, hey, let's say for example, micronova is good for prompts that are very direct and are very good, is very good with anything that is more logical in nature, whereas sometimes I feel that anthropic is very good with any customer communication or a user communication. It actually comes back, and you will see this, I'll demo this to you. You will see that Sonnet will come back and say, hello, you know, how are you doing, how can I help you today? So it is very personalized. So I've seen this both from documentation and my experience as well. But Candice, I'm going to respond to your question a little more by actually demoing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go with Nova Micro and select this right now, and then we will come back to Anthropic. Okay. Now, what we have over here is instructions for the agent, and this is where we tell the agent what it needs to do for us. So, we are going to tell the agent, you are a let's say, career advisor for high school uh, students. I misspell students in NYC. And you can pretty much write anything, right? So let's say if you want this agent to be a certified AWS architect, then you have to say, okay, you are a certified AWS architect who is going to help people to, or your users to develop architectures. You could put that as well. Or let's say if you're creating a trip advisor, then you can say, hey, you're a trip advisor who will help people to build their day trip plan when they are traveling to their favorite city, depending on the weather and location. So you could pretty much give any instructions to the agent, and that instruction will be picked up by the agent, and the agent will start performing and behaving as per your instructions. So right now we are telling this agent to be a career advisor for high school students. As I said, you can make it anything that you like. It will personalize and impersonate itself as per your instructions. And I'm not going to use the rest of the features at this time. I will build a little more as we go further along. So what I'm going to do is, with this basic stuff that we have created, and as you saw, nothing crazy, just a name, description, a role, a model, and the instructions to the agent. Something this simple can help us to create an agent. So I'm going to save this now, And once it is saved, then we will prep our agent. So as you can see, it's telling me to prepare the agent with the latest changes. So click and prepare. And once our agent is prepared, now we will test it. So it's ready for test and we will post a message over here. So what we are going to do is, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say hello and click on run. And let's see what the response comes, because uh, you are using Nova Micro, and you'll see how can I assist you today with your career planning or any other questions you might have. So you see how Nova is basically trying to formulate this response around, you know, by my simple word hello. And now we'll say, let's say like, okay, what are some skills that you recommend high school students should learn? And I'm going to copy this question and click on run. And again, if I have to zoom in a little, you will see that Noah basically came back with a whole bunch of things over here. Now, this is a response that we have got with Nova. If I change this, so if only if I can go back, there it is. Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. If I come here and Candice now answering your question, right? If I change from Nova Micro to, let's say, Sonnet, and apply over here. Now we are going to save this again. And it's going to take some time for it to save. Then prepare the agent.
What does that step do? Prepare.
Prepare basically whatever changes that you have made is like a compile button, right? So
Okay.
it just prepares the agent, it updates all the changes, and now your agent is ready. It's all prepped up and
Cool.
it's ready to go for you to test. So any changes that you have made in your agent, it basically has all those changes reflected, and it keeps it, it's basically a ready button, right? I'm ready to go kind of a button. So every all the changes that you've made is all up to date with all those changes and is ready for you to test. So before you test, you should prepare your agent and then go and click on test. So now we'll click on test. And now we have changed this. So now if I click on hello, you will see the response. So now you see over here, hello, I'm here to help you explore career paths and educational opportunities. How can I assist you? So you see now, uh, this one, Sonnet's response is very different. It's more forthcoming.
Mhm.
Like, how can I help you to explore career paths and educational opportunities? Right now, if I change this, the statement as well, these will change again. But if I change the statement again, I have to prep the agent. Now, the same question that we asked to Nova. Okay, what are some of the things I think we said? Okay, I lost that. What are some, uh, let's say, skills that you you recommend for high school students? I thought I had copied it, but I lost it. So sorry about that. And now we will see how Sonnet responds back to this kind of a question. So now you will see that Sonnet actually came back with a different response. You see, it's
Mhm.
basically saying, okay, digital literacy, communication, critical thinking, research, collaboration, financial literacy. So this is how you, when you keep on interacting with these models, you will see that some of the models are a little more intuitive, a little more forthcoming. Some of them are precise. Some of them will give you a very concise answer. Some of them will give you a very elaborate answer. Like Noah gave us a very long, elaborated answer for a similar question. So Candice, there's no easy way to choose a model. It is basically you exploring different models, and at the same time, uh, basically going by others' experiences and the documentation and the research that others have shared about this model, that how this model behaves. So that's typically how we pick and choose a model. So
Cool.
hopefully that answers your question, Candice.
Yeah, that was great. I'd also point out that they gave similar answers, although like worded differently, like kind of
What?
like what you were saying. And I really like Claude. Nova's pretty new, and so I've only used it a little bit. I really like Claude and his approach overall. Like if you ask him a question that he doesn't want to answer, he'll tell you he's humble, honest, and something else, and doesn't feel comfortable answering that or something to that effect. So
Well, I think that's a
yeah,
great point. Of course, we can change some of these models from cloud to something else, but I'm going to use that point. Let's say if there are certain scenarios wherein you don't want your agent to answer a specific question. Okay, let's say we'll ask this agent right now, what is the high school cost in NYC? Okay, and I'm going to copy this time around right there. So what is the high school cost in NYC? So now it's going to give you some financial numbers. Let's see if it gives you some numbers, or does it just give you some basic information. So this is what it's telling me, that this is the range. Now, what if you don't want your career advisor to give any financial advice or any healthcare advice whatsoever, right? Because you're a career advisor, you should give advice about people's careers as to what they should learn, what they should be doing, etc., but not about money. So if you want to do that, you can actually create a guardrail. So guardrail is one of the features, and guardrail basically tells the agent, uh, how to use this guardrail and how to use it effectively with the model. What questions should be passed on to the model versus what should be denied or blocked. So let's do one thing. Let us go ahead and create a guardrail. Uh, I will have
Very
to.
similar to the guardrails that probably we've known growing up, right? Like if you play bowling.
Yes, that's a similar guardrail over here. It basically protects you. It kind
Protects
of
you.
creates a fence around you, and it basically tells you that, hey, do not do this. Otherwise, you'll have some penalties. So let's not have penalties. What we will do is, we will create some guardrails. We will add certain denied topics, which tells the guardrail that, hey, do not discuss or talk about this topic, and in fact handle this in a graceful manner,
Yeah,
right?
in the
So
lane.
let's create a guardrail over here. So we will say GR, let's say like a high school career advisor. And since I copied that, I don't want to lose that question, so let me just have it. uh, okay, so right here, and I'm going to paste it over here. Now, again, just like how we give instructions to our agent, what we can do is we can give a nice, graceful message over here. So we will say, apologies. Uh, this career advisor, and again, this is up to you what you want to give. Career advisor cannot answer this question. Okay, and then we click on next. And if you want to protect your agent, from any harmful categories like any hate speech or violence or any insults or misconduct, I've all of these enabled. You can set its threshold. You can reduce and threshold as well. Uh, as per your wish, however you feel you're comfortable with. Most of the people just keep it default and just keep it to high. So if you want to keep it default, just click on this reset defaults and all of them will come to high. You can also protect it from any kind of prompt attacks. Like if you feel that you're getting a lot of prompt attacks, back to back prompts, maybe insults coming, then again you can have those attacks blocked and the guardrail will kick in. Next is denied topics, and this is where we add any denied topics. Now, as I was telling earlier, let's say we do not want our agent to give any financial advice, so we will say money advisor. Okay, and we will mention over here again any money, monetary, financial, finance, fees, cost, uh, recommendations. I'm going to say recommendations. So do not do this. So do not provide any monetary financial advice in any form or any way. Do not give any recommendations. That is what is denied for you. And this is basically blocked, as you can see, both for input and output. I'm going to keep it blocked and click on confirm and basically add this as a denied topic. Now, just like how we created a denied topic for money, we can also create a denied topic for health as well. But right now I'm going to stick with money and go to next. And if you want to add any profanity filters, want to block any specific words, you can do that. If not, we can continue further ahead. You can also add some, personally identify information. For example, you can choose some of the out of the box, like you don't want anybody to know your email. Maybe if it's women, they don't want to know the, people to know the age. You can do that as well. And you can block it, you can mask it, whatever works for you. Click on confirm again. And basically from there, we will continue further ahead. I'm not going to put any grounding checks right now, but if you want, you could do that. And finally, we will review this whole thing. As you can see, I'm slowly scrolling down and we will click on create guardrail and our guardrail will be created. So as you can see now, it's getting created. And once it is created, we can test our guardrail individually also before we associate it with our advisor. So we can click on test. It's already in a test mode. We will have to select an agent. So sorry, select a model. Apologies. So we can say, I'm going to use Nova again, see how it behaves with Noah. And I'm going to give a simple prompt again. So hello, and click on run. So how can I assist you with your question? It's asking me this as a response. So what I'm going to do now is what was that question? Yeah, I'm going to take this question, paste it right here to test this guardrail, whether it works or not. So if our guardrail is working, remember all financial topics are blocked. So then it should block this and our guardrail should intervene and kick in and give our beautiful sorry message or apologies message that we created back. So let us see how it works. So I'm executing it right now. So as you see, under the guardrail action is telling us intervened and it is giving us our custom response apologies, a career advisor cannot answer this question. And if I click on view trace, it will basically tell me that the guardrail has blocked this particular question. So a denied topic money advisor, I'm highlighting it right now, basically kicked in, it intervened, it detected that this is a monetary question and it blocked it. So this is how you create a guardrail. And what we can do is we can now go back to our agent, go to our career, high school career advisor, scroll down, right? So where it is edit in agent builder, then scroll down, we will have guardrails over here and we will edit this. We will add our guardrail, save it. And since we made changes, we have to prepare our agent. So we have to save first and then prepare our agent with the latest changes. So prepare. So now, Candice, since you're asking what prepare does, it's going to go back. It is going to recognize that, hey, I've got a guardrail. It's going to update itself. And now it is ready for testing. So now I'm going to go back and again ask a similar question. Hello, you can ask any question that you like. And then we will ask about our guardrail. So what is the high school cost in NYC? Click on run. And it's executing right now. Oh, it still came back again. So see, it didn't kick in. So now I have to edit it again. So even though we created it, it didn't kick in. So I'll have to edit it again. Let's see. See, this is how it works. Now, if I change the model, Sonnet didn't pick it up. So now let's see if Noah picks it up. Okay, we had prepared our agent, if you remember. I'm again going to save it. Okay, I'm again going to prepare it. I've changed my model, and I'm so excited and so happy that it happened. Again, what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to ask the question again, click on run, and hopefully this time it has prepared it successfully. There you go. So Noah picked it up immediately, but you saw how Sonnet behaved. It did not pick it up. We prepared our agent, but it did not pick it up. So this is how when you use different models, you will see that sometimes, even though you have made all the changes, you have prepped the model, it takes a while for a specific model to pick up your changes. And one last thing that I'm going to show today is, so I've created this little Excel spreadsheet that I'm sharing right now, which has the top high schools in New York City. Now, what I have done is I have used this spreadsheet to create a knowledge base, and I've already prepared this knowledge base because creating a knowledge base takes a while. But knowledge base, as the name suggests, is basically like a repository that can have a lot of documents, and it indexes those different documents so that you can query against that and you can ask any questions. So one of the cool features about agents is, just like how we created a guardrail, we can associate a knowledge base as well. And what I have done is, in this knowledge base, I have basically created an S3 bucket where I have uploaded this Excel spreadsheet. And what we are going to do is, we are going to use this knowledge base with our agent to see whether it can use that knowledge base successfully. So I think I have only 3 minutes now. So I was actually going to walk you through the knowledge base, but I might not have that kind of a time. But there's a data source over here. I just want you to see that. And if I click on this data source, you will see that it actually goes to a S3 bucket. So this is my S3 bucket, which has this Excel spreadsheet. Okay, best high schools in NYC. And what I'm going to do is, I am basically going to go back to my agent. And what we are going to do is, we are going to use this knowledge base with our agent over here. So I'm going to edit the agent in Agent Builder. And here are knowledge bases. I'm going to go and add this knowledge base. This is my knowledge base. Okay. So this, again, you have to give instructions. So best high schools in NYC. Click on add. Hopefully it gets added really very fast. Okay, and then again, save, prepare the agent. So now these changes will be reflected, and now we should be able to test. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say uh, which is the best high school in NYC. Now let us, before I ask the question, the answer is this, is Stuyvesant High School. This is ranked number 1 in NYC, and that is followed by Bronx High School of Science, which is ranking 2 over here. But this is the best high school. So let us ask this question. If our agent is prepped very well and our knowledge base is integrated, then the answer should be given. So we have Stuyvesant High School right here, which is the best high school in NYC. Similarly, I can also ask uh, which is the third best school in NYC, and it should be able to answer that question as well. So saying Queens High School, and what we have over here is a High School for Sciences at York College. So that is the response that we have received. So this is how we can use Bedrock to create an agent along with a guardrail, along with a knowledge base. And I just use one single Excel spreadsheet. You can have tons and tons of documentation. Let's say if you have documentation about different schools, the prospectus, or anything else that you have downloaded from the web, any other information, all of that can be used as part of your knowledge base. So this is how you go about creating a high school career advisor. So hopefully this was helpful.
Yeah, I think that was super neat. It seemed very easy. I love the part about the guardrails. adding in knowledge bases, and now we have MCP and RAG and all kinds of different approaches that we can take. But this seems very easy, and I really liked your explanation. Thank you.
Yeah, and there's one of the things I would like to point out is if you saw, I did not do any coding.
Right.
So no coding, nothing. You just go in the console, you can use these services, and your agent will be ready to go. Yes, you can always use APIs to call this agent as part of your Python or whatever code base that you have. So you can certainly call this agent and integrate this agent with your application. That is definitely a possibility.
Yeah, this is so interesting, Namrata. Wish we had the time to go on, but this is, I think, a easy space to learn for even people who do not know coding. Like you said,
Yes.
when it's just basic English and you just understand what a model is, like just the terminologies of knowledge base, guardrails, prompts, and you're good to go. So
Yes.
thank you so much for taking us through this live demonstration. I am really excited. Now I'm going to go play around in my console.
Sure, no, absolutely, guys. Thank you for having me, and hopefully, everybody in the audience, if you are watching this, please post your comments. You can reach out to me on my LinkedIn or my YouTube channel. There are a lot of videos on my YouTube channel about Bedrock as well. Of course, I could not demonstrate all the features, but I've pretty much covered most of the features of Bedrock on my channel as well. So if you want to learn, there are a lot of tutorials, there are a lot of labs that you can certainly leverage to enhance your knowledge and your skill set.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for spending this time with us today. Thank you for all of our viewers. Thank you so much, Deepika, for coming up with this idea. I think it was super interesting, and it was really fun to see a demo live on the show. So I really, really loved this.
Sure.
Um,
Thank you, ladies, for having
of
me.
course. And everyone who's watching, please like and subscribe to our AWS She Builds channel on YouTube, and you'll catch all of our videos. I hope we're going to do a bit more of these demo sort of things coming up soon. And with that, thanks so much for everyone watching. We'll have another episode next week, same time. Actually, I think we have a double header next week. So hopefully we will see you again soon.
Sure.
Have a good weekend.
Take
All
care,
right.
ladies. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.